Expedite, the pre-workout, is designed to really help you get through those moments where you feel a little fatigued. Sometimes your body does get a little tired, it gets a little sore. With this kind of stuff, it picks you right back up.
Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here in Las Vegas, being joined with one of my favorites to go ahead and interview, Mr. Chris Algieri, who is here with Daniel Jacobs as he's about to embark in this fight against Canelo Alvarez. You've been in camp with Daniel. Let me know about the preparation, the nutrition coming into this fight.
Yeah, this is my 5th camp with Team Jacobs, and I like to tell everybody that the guy who comes to camp, each one of those camps is a different guy every time. Danny is such an unpredictable. The way he is unpredictable in the ring is the way that he lives his life and does his training as well. He's kind of an enigma. He comes in, you don't know if he's going to be, sometimes he comes to camp and he's kind of thin and light, and sometimes he comes to camp and he's bigger, and so we always have to deal with it on a case by case basis. We have great communication with the team, so we're always making sure that we're doing exactly what we need for who we have in front of us. Canelo is a very specific style, and we've trained specifically for that. Dana needs to be sharp, he needs to be athletic, he needs to be big and strong and durable. So that's really what we've been working on from a training and nutrition aspect.
When you see Canelo Alvarez, and you being a fighter and knowing how to strategize and approach fights, what do you think Daniel needs to do to approach this fight and be successful, not only from the fans' perspective, but the judge perspective?
Well, a little known fact is I actually sparred Canelo back in 2011 out here in Vegas.
I did not know that.
Yeah, most people don't. We sparred. He was getting ready for the Jose Miguel Cotto fight on the undercard of Floyd Mayweather and Shane Mosley.
So that's when he was super ginger.
Yeah.
More freckles.
More freckles. Yeah, I think we had 2 sparring sessions together. And just, he's adapted tremendously since then. He's got a lot more shoulder roll defense, which you've seen since the post Mayweather fight. Danny just has to be Danny. He's got to be Danny Jacobs. Danny goes out there, he's long, he's strong, he's athletic. He's got that East Coast style of being slick and maneuvering, and he has a very high boxing IQ. He's got to utilize all those tools to get the victory on Saturday night.
How was Canelo's power back then?
Canelo's a strong guy. He's a powerfully built guy. Even then, I think he was 20 years old at the time. I could see his wrists were very thick, his neck was thick, his ankles were thick. He's a well-built, strong guy. And he's I wouldn't say he's not a one-punch power guy. He's not. He's more of a combination puncher. He's a great counter puncher. He's got fast hands, good defense. And I think he gets guys out of there more from breaking them down, countering them, hitting them with shots they don't see.
When you look at this fight, I know the topic of the judges has come about a lot.
Yeah.
What do you make of people saying that Canelo can't lose in Vegas, that there's always a scorecard that's way ahead for him, and that he always gets favoritism in Vegas?
Yeah, and listen, anybody can lose on any given night. And yeah, there's possibly an issue with the judges and the powers that be. But really, honestly, I tell Danny this all the time, if you go out there and do your job, and you do it every round, they can't take it from you. And more importantly, if you knock them out, that's it. The victory is secured. So, Danny's not going out there for the knockout, but if he gets him hurt, he's definitely going to go for it.
How does this fight play out, you feel?
I think that Canelo's going to be very surprised with Danny's power. Danny is a surprising and tricky puncher. He's got the power, but also he sneaks in punches that you don't necessarily see that hurt guys. And I think he's going to be able to hurt Canelo early, and then he's going to have to utilize his boxing skills from there, and I think it's going to be important to get Canelo to fight off his back foot and to pressure him and to push and to really push the pace, especially as the rounds go on. Canelo has a tendency, we see it in the Triple G fights, where he kind of pulled off the gas a little bit towards the later end of the fight, and Danny tends to pick up. He's got an extra gear that I think has been the major difference with him in all of his big fights. So that's really how I see the fight playing out.
Is this a trickier fight, you feel, than the Golovkin fight, or do you think the Golovkin fight was a lot harder fight for Daniel?
I think mentally the Golovkin fight was harder for Daniel. That was when Golovkin was undefeated. There was no chink in the man's armor, and he was fighting the boogeyman basically. And Danny had that a lot in his mind in training camp. This fight's different in that, maybe mentally Danny is a lot more confident going into this fight, but I think this is a very, very tricky fight because of the style that Canelo utilizes, and just the fact that he's Canelo. He is a great fighter. and so is Daniel. But you know, Danny's gonna have to pull out all the stops to get the victory.
I know you mentioned if Daniel wins every round, he won't have to worry about the judges. But if we go to 12 rounds, it's finished, and they're reading the judge's card, how nervous are you going to be if it's a close fight that they're going to maybe give the nod to Canelo?
I'm going to be nervous, yeah. I'm going to be nervous. So, you know, like I said, I think if Danny does what he's supposed to do and does what he can do, I don't think there's going to be any question. But I'll still be nervous until I hear that. I hear the that Brooklyn is in the house.